What is up, Top Shot Nation? Welcome to Series 3. Here we've got our base set, Release 1 for Series 3, loaded with 3-star rookies from can't miss prospects. Very excited about this one. We're going to break down all 48 plays in this first release. And we've got some can't miss names, including the rookies Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs, Davion Mitchell, where you, the community, helped determine their Top Shot debuts. So that's exciting. But we've got plenty more, and really excited to be here with Austin Kent, our content lead. Austin, how's it going, man?
Going great. So excited to be kicking off Series 3. Finally, we've been watching it for the last 2 weeks, and you're just salivating over all the great moments that we've seen so far. So happy to share those with people now.
Awesome. We're going to rapid fire through these. We got 48 epic moments to share. You're going to see a lot of these moments throughout Series 3. Of course, as we have more base set packs released over the course of Series 3, you'll see these moments. Right now, they're going to start, most of them are going to start at 60,000 edition sizes as CCs. So that number could go up based on the demand of the community as Top Shot grows. We've also got some massive hits with these 3-star rookies that are going to be limited to just 4,000 edition sizes throughout the series, and some superstars that are going to get edition sizes at 9,999. So hits to be found throughout these drops, and some really exciting ones. And we're going to be methodical about releasing the 3-star rookies. So you're going to see 6 in this drop, 6 really great players, but not necessarily the 6 top rookies in this class. So we do have maybe the leading contender for Rookie of the Year in Evan Mobley. I know that the Raptors fans are going to quibble with that because Scotty Barnes has been great. But we're going to jump right into this, starting with former first overall pick, Andrew Wiggins, who's come out of the gates pretty strong in Series 3 for the 21-22 regular season Warriors. And here you see him, lefty throwdown, hitting the deck. Wiggins has been, since getting to Golden State, I think we've seen kind of a reemergence of what he can be as a player.
Yeah, definitely. I think Wiggins has still such a high ceiling in a system like that. I love this play. If you watch it a couple times, you'll see basically gets a hand on it to block the dunk, but he just powers through and ends up throwing it down. A nice thumbnail on this one too.
Absolutely. Moving ahead to another guy who often gets compared to Andrew Wiggins. We got Cam Reddish, former Dookie, and Cam Reddish obviously brimming with athleticism and potential. And here we see him with a nice little flush in transition.
Yeah, total spark plug. I think this guy is the limit for Cam Reddish. He was hyped up for a reason. This is from their first game of the season. He drops 20 points in 21 minutes of action, which I think Cam Reddish has dealt with injuries throughout his first 2 years in the league. But once he starts pushing that ceiling higher and higher, Hawks fans are in for a treat. That's a deep, scary team.
Moving ahead here, we've got Christian Wood, finished in the top 3 for most improved player last year. He is a problem down low, and here we see him flushing it home and with the little Shaq feet up on the backboard. That's just – and Şengün's first assist on Top Shot commemorated. So all around great.
There you go. Love the big man dunk.
Absolutely. Moving ahead here to the president of the Players Association, CJ McCollum. And this one, when it happened live, everyone's like, gotta put that one on Top Shot. Just completely undressing the defender and hitting the tough shot. Brandon Clark, he's a stout defender, so that's tough to do. And McCollum's fancy footwork and nice fade.
Yeah, making him dance at the end of the first half. This is one of our 10K limited edition. Sorry, 9,999 limited editions that are dropping here.
Perfect. Moving ahead, we've got Cody Martin, no longer playing with his twin brother Caleb Martin, but Cody really taking off with the Hornets this year and has just really kind of established himself as a two-way threat, great athlete, active offensive rebounder, and this one came in a win over the Cavs.
Yeah, a great thumbnail on this one too. Cody Martin, both the Martin brothers have great dunking posture. I love to see it.
Yeah, and of course, Caleb figures to be an integral part of the Miami Heat bench. So we might see a moment from him later on in the year. Moving ahead, Daniel Gafford, one of the bigger, better athletes in the NBA, came over in a trade from the Bulls to the Wizards last year. And man, he flushes it home here.
Yeah, I love the power, the two-handed power dunk and transition's always nice.
Next, we've got Daniel Theis. Theis has been a star in Germany for years and has really established himself as one of the better defensive bigs in the NBA. But here we see him in transition, throwing it down off of a beautiful pass. Theis, I think one of the more underrated big men in the league.
Yeah, and great at throwing down those little hammer dunks. You got Dwight Powell and Dorian Finney-Smith closing in on him. That's a tough dunk to pull off.
And yeah, I mean, again, lefty pass, Kevin Porter Jr. It's tough. Moving ahead here, we've got Dāvis Bertāns, one of the best shooters in the NBA, doing what he does best, creating some separation, and he's just so tall. The step back didn't stand a chance there. The defender had no opportunity to disrupt that.
Yeah, it's so fun watching a player his height shoot the way that he shoots. He's got such a confident stroke. And this one, I believe this is the three that gave them a late lead in that early season overtime game against the Pacers. But he's so scary. The Latvian laser, you love it.
And yeah, TJ McConnell, no slouch on defense, of course. Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year at Arizona and has been just one of the better defenders. But again, just Bertans' height and reach and high release, impossible to defend. Moving ahead, former MVP, youngest MVP in NBA history, Derrick Rose. And Rose has been on a tear with the Knicks to start this year. And here we see the nice little touch pass ahead to Obi Toppin for the nice flush.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for crafty vet moves, and just to see him nonchalantly do the little open-handed, underhanded tap the ball up the court to Toppin. That was fun to see.
Next, we've got Harrison Barnes, active Top Shot collector. And here we see him. Big shot, stick in the landing. Austin, walk us through this play.
Yeah, this is so Harrison Barnes made headlines for a very great buzzer beater, just kind of like he did last year, and that's a play that you're likely going to see over the course of the season. But before he did that, he was on fire in their season opener. I think he got 36 points against Portland. So here's a late three, not a game winner, but a late three. I think he went 8 for 11 from beyond the arc. Not a bad way to kick off the season.
Amazing. Moving ahead to Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein, of course, started his career with the Rockets, and we've seen him, very interesting skill set, lanky, tall. We see the reaction and the passion here. He's trying to break through and get some regular rotation minutes with the Clippers.
Yeah, he's a nice, powerful dunker, and we saw that a couple times last year in Cleveland. And if LA ends up being a nice, semi-permanent stop for him, it'll be fun to see him sort of fit into that system.
And you got to love the European connection there. Nick Batum, the Frenchman, to the German, Isaiah Hartenstein. Moving ahead here, we've got Isaiah Roby with an emphatic throwdown.
That little clever jab step just gets Hassan Whiteside, I believe, way out of position. Throws it down. Roby's good at throwing it down like that.
Next, we're moving ahead to one of the better rim protectors in the NBA, but here we see him on the offensive end, Jakob Poeltl. He's been with the Spurs for a while, part of the Kawhi Leonard trade, and he's really kind of established himself as one of the more under-the-radar bigs in the entire NBA.
I love it. I have a lot of fond memories of Poeltl from his time in Toronto, but here he is, just dunking it through, a little bit of contact there. Career high, 27 points in this one, 14 boards.
And we're moving ahead to one of the two Jay Greens on the Denver Nuggets. This one from JaMychal Green, big dunk in transition.
JaMychal Green's so nice at throwing down those surprising little hammers.
I love these Nuggets jerseys. Let me just say, these are my favorite jerseys in the entire NBA. And Facundo Campazzo with the nice dime. It's just like all around a very aesthetically pleasing play. Moving ahead here, we've got Jarrett Allen with his first dunk in Series 3. And we know Jarrett Allen is very prone to throwing it down. And here we see him bring the hammer over the top of Mason Plumlee. Didn't stand a chance.
Yep, this Jarrett Allen dunk brought on lots of conversations about what constitutes throwdown, and what a thrunk is. But regardless of what you want to call this, it's always fun to see a player get way up and literally throw the ball down through the net. And here he does it on Mason Plumlee there. It's fun to see. Those arms are so long.
An untold story of this moment. About 2 seconds after this dunk went through, inbound to LaMelo Ball, full court pass to Miles Bridges, and Hornets get 2 points right back. Moving ahead, we've got Javonte Green. Now with the Chicago Bulls, of course, one of the bigger high flyers in the NBA. And here we see him really throwing it down in transition.
I love it. Just straight down Broadway. Throw it down.
Lonzo Ball's really infused that team with just unbelievable, contagious energy, unselfishness. It's been awesome to see.
Yeah.
Moving ahead to the other Jay Green on the Denver Nuggets, this one from Uncle Jeff Green, who has been really strong to start the season and figures to play a big role in Denver's playoff pursuit should they make it.
Yeah, definitely. He's such a valuable rotation piece. We saw that last year with Brooklyn. And I love the crafty vet plays, the little ball fake, fakes the handoff, and then just decides to take it to the rack himself. Why not?
Moving ahead here, we've got Jerami Grant, member of Team USA, really strong scorer. And here we see on the defensive end, he can get up and protect the rim with the best of them.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for those blocks pinned off the backboard. And then anybody who can like scoop up their own block and get the ball going the other way, that's always a plus.
Yeah, it's like every single year you see a highlight of someone in college doing that, and they get instantaneously compared to Draymond Green. So very Draymond Green-esque play from Jerami Grant here.
Mm.
Up next, we've got Jimmy Butler. Of course, needs no introduction. One of the 10, 12 best players in the NBA. And here we see him go up high with the throwdown. The Heat look unbelievable right now. And Tyler Herro, the assist man on the play, looks primed for a huge season.
Definitely. And I love these high-speed transition alley-oops. And anytime a player can swing around in the room like that, you got to watch it a couple times. Butler dropped 36 points in this one and had 5 steals too. It's a fun fact.
Jalen Rose earlier this week actually said the Miami Heat are his pick to come out of the East and win the championship. So how do you like that?
Man, I just don't question anything with this Miami Heat team. They've earned their reputation for constantly defying expectations. So I wouldn't rule them out.
Moving ahead to Jonas Valančiūnas, JV, in a new location with New Orleans this year. And here we see him with the fancy assist. Full court dime.
That's my quarterback. Love it. That's a big beef game from Jonas Valančiūnas too. 22 points, 23 boards, and a nice 90-foot touchdown pass. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see once Zion comes back how JV and Zion play off of each other. Obviously, Goliaths on the inside and both like to dominate the paint, but they're both extremely skilled, extremely talented. So I'll be curious to see how that works out. Moving along here, we've got Jordan Nwora, rookie last year with Milwaukee, got his championship ring already in tow. And here we see him rising up high and stuffing KD at the rim.
I love it. What better way to celebrate? This is the October 19th ring ceremony game. What better way to celebrate than rising straight up and stuffing Kevin Durant on his way to the hoop?
Absolutely. And we actually had about 80 collectors in Milwaukee to watch this live, and it was a truly unbelievable experience. Moving ahead to Jordan Poole, also from opening night. Jordan Poole, many predicting to be the most improved player of the year this year, 6th man of the year, getting a lot of hype early in the season. And here we see why. Just unbelievable dexterity, great athleticism, fantastic score first approach. What have you seen from him early in the season?
I think just the ability to fill the stat sheet quickly. He's cracked 20 points a couple times during this young season, including in this game. And if he can be that sort of like alternative offensive weapon for an already just horrifying Warriors team, I think just the potential that he can bring to like increase the ceiling of that team, it's just off the charts.
Moving ahead, we've got Karl-Anthony Towns, Cat, The Timberwolves looking a lot stronger this year than in recent years. And here we see Towns running the break, full emphasis on the dunk. This is, when Towns joined a stream, we asked him why he wears number 32. He said growing up, his dad and him idolized Magic Johnson. And here we see him busting out some Magic Johnson kind of dribbling in transition, very decisive with his actions, and unbelievable thumbnail.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. A great thumbnail. But I love just watching big guys like Cat just dribble down the court. He's a fun player to watch, and it's easy to kind of forget that he's gigantic with the way he's so comfortable shooting threes and putting the ball on the floor. But it certainly makes for fun plays like that.
Absolutely. Next, we've got Kelly Olynyk. Speaking of big men that can really shoot the ball and add some dynamic plays to their team. You're a Pistons fan. What have you seen from Kelly so far?
What we've seen so far from him is he's established himself as a very necessary veteran on a team just loaded with young players. Obviously, you want those young guys to learn, by experience, but they also need to be watching pros. And Olynyk has established himself as a pro over the course of his own career. And he stepped up for the team a couple times. He gets 20 points in this game, and he stepped up on a few occasions. Doesn't need the ball in his hands, doesn't need to dominate like first or second unit. But when his number is called, he really proves, like, he really shows exactly how to execute at the NBA level.
Awesome. Moving ahead to another Detroit Piston, Killian Hayes in year 2. It was a forgetful rookie season, but Killian Hayes drafted largely because of his two-way ability, and here we see him creating the play on the defensive end and finishing with the hammer.
And Killian Hayes doesn't throw it down too often, so this is kind of fun. I believe this is the second dunk of his NBA career. It's certainly a big year for Killian Hayes. Obviously, last year marred by that injury, so a lot of eyes will be on Killian Hayes this year.
Moving ahead, we've got LaMarcus Aldridge triumphantly returning to the Brooklyn Nets. We were worried that his career was over abruptly, and here we see him in his element, doing what he does best. Mr. 18-footer, future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, what a great play for this to be an absolute milestone achievement for him. This bucket, put him over the 20,000 point plateau. He's the 48th player to do that. So when we saw LaMarcus Aldridge reach such like verified air, we knew we wanted to include it in the base set here.
Next, we've got a guy that's really come in. Doesn't fit the mold of many of the acquisitions for the Lakers, but Malik Monk has been as important as pretty much anyone this year. Epic throwdown here. Boy, just navigating around that defense. And Monk, a microwave scorer, can score at all three levels. And I think the Lakers fans are going to really enjoy having him.
Yeah, exactly. He was a lottery pick for a reason. And the fact that he's emerged on a team as deep as this Lakers roster, it's really quite a scary addition for the rest of the league. So you love to see it. You love to see him come into his own kind of so early, and I think you'll be seeing a lot of Malik Monk over the course of the season.
We've already seen him hit an elite, maybe a 35-foot dagger from no man's land against the Spurs, and the Lakers now 4-3. They're making progress as they try to pursue a championship here. Moving ahead, we've got Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner playing with his brother Franz in Orlando, and Wagner's always been a nifty scorer, can kind of put the ball on the floor as we see here and throw it down.
Yeah, I love it. Just gets it right to the rack, throws it down. He must have known that Franz's dunk was coming, so Mo had to get in there first with a nice little throwdown on your Knicks.
Yeah, that's if I'm not mistaken, that's two college players of the year, Mo Wagner and Obi Toppin going at it there. Always nice to see the college stars busting out in the NBA. Moving ahead here to a guy that I still consider one of the most, if not the most underrated player in the NBA, Myles Turner. Just plug and play him into any roster, and he's had a weird season so far. Scored 40 points in a game. He's had a handful of games where he's scored in single digits. Still trying to figure out where his place is in the Carlisle hierarchy, but Here we see him with the elite flush.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It has been a weird year for Myles Turner. Obviously, known by everyone as a defensive stopper. It's nice to see him get the offense going with a nice throwdown on Gafford. This is the game he dropped 40, an overtime game, and that's a career high for him. So we're excited to see that one.
Love it.
This is also one of our 10K LEs as well.
Perfect. That's great context. Moving ahead here, we've got Nemanja Bjelica, who I think is tailor-made for the Warriors system and has already kind of turned some heads with his intelligent passing, his great shooting stroke. He's been a great fit from day one here, and here we see on day one with the nice assist.
Yeah, I love that addition. Like, it's exactly like you've described. I love seeing him just drive, nice little ball fake to get the defense out of position, then kicks it out. I think Warriors fans will be seeing a lot of similar plays like that from him.
Next up, we've got the centerpiece of the Kyle Lowry sign and trade, the guy that Miami traded with reluctance back to Toronto to make it happen. And here we see Precious Achiuwa showing off the athleticism and honestly a more impressive touch than I think people realized. The nice little crossover finishing at the rim. The Raptors have a lot of young talent, and they all fit seemingly pretty well together. So they'll be an interesting team to watch this year and for years to come.
Yeah, definitely. And there's just been so much promise shown by Achiuwa so far this year. I love seeing him. He's so much faster with the ball than you expect, like when you look at him. And I think you see that here as he just drives straight down the middle for a dunk.
Yeah, Memphis's own. Moving ahead to another big man that I think is underrated and really shows off versatility on both sides of the floor. And we've got Richaun Holmes with the Sacramento Kings. And here we see Holmes cleaning up the mess, flushing it home. This is what he does best, right? He's a rim runner. He gets into the trenches and throws it down, gets a lot of putbacks this way.
Yeah, and I think he's in a great situation, just for himself personally. He had shown so much like flashes of being this high energy guy. I like previously in Philadelphia. To be able to see him really flourish in Sacramento has been great. He got 21 points and like 10 boards in this one. And I think those are the stat lines that are just going to become more and more kind of familiar as he gets more and more time to establish himself as a legitimate starting front court player.
Love it. Moving ahead, we've got Robert Williams III, who I think many call him Time Lord. He's going to be the X factor for the Boston Celtics this year. They've got off to a somewhat haphazard start, and it'll be contingent on guys like Robert Williams to really break out now that he's in his third year with the Celtics.
Yeah, he's such an important piece for that team. I love the alley of the Time Lord. I love the little leg kick, the celebration after it.
I also really like these new Celtics jerseys. I have to say, they're not too different from what they were, but the subtle changes are a nice touch, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I'm one of those basketball fans that whenever I see a tweak of such a classic jersey, it always kind of catches me off guard, but it works in this situation.
Moving ahead, we've got, I mentioned him earlier, had a stellar rookie season, sophomore slump as that goes, especially for a guy that got maybe a month and a half of an off season last year. Tyler Herro hitting a great three-pointer here. Step back on Malcolm Brogdon, who's an excellent defender. Herro just on a mission this year. It looks like a front runner for Sixth Man of the Year and has clearly played a massive role in kind of Miami's super hot start.
Yeah, he's such a high volume scorer, and I think he's kind of settling into a perfect role for him. 30 points this game, 10 assists as well, and I think this three came in the final minute, not like a game winner or a game tire, but it was a big three in the final minute of a game that went to overtime. So he's clearly not afraid of big moments, which is just such a joy to watch.
Moving ahead here, we've got a stretch of rookies from last year, a stretch of some all-stars from last year. We're going to start with Cole Anthony, who has really turned heads this year. It looks like he's taking a massive leap. Obviously a very active top shot collector. And here we see him on the receiving end of an alley-oop from Gary Harris. And Cole-Anthony, I think, improved athleticism this year. His defense has been great. Killed the Knicks in a game not too long ago. What have you seen from him?
I love to see any kid that grew up with a ball in his hands, which obviously Cole-Anthony, son of Greg Anthony, did, because it allows players to be able to pull off moves like this like alley-oop, up and under, reverse layup. He's just a natural at putting the ball in the net. So it's fun to see him after really such an electric rookie season, couple game winners, to see him kind of take that next step, right? Because it's easy to not be able to follow up an exciting first year with growth and development, but we've seen that early from Cole-Anthony.
And between Cole, Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz, certainly a lot of guys that had a ton of fanfare in college and high school. All three of them pretty solid two-way players. Will be interesting to see kind of how that backcourt rotation kind of pans out over the coming season or two. Moving ahead, we've got Facundo Campazzo, one of my favorite players to watch. And here we see him just doing what he does best, which is show off some flash, kind of through the legs dribble a la Chris Paul, and nice finish at the rim on Devin Vassell, who's one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire league.
Yeah, I love it. Campazzo highlights are fascinating. Like the Chris Paul comp is perfect for that little dribble move there. But I love to see it's almost like, watch how he releases the layup. It's almost like Granny-esque, with just enough English to bounce out the backboard into the net. It's just, everything he does is just so mesmerizing.
Yeah, in terms of like his size, like everything about him, just like he could have easily played in the 1950s and 60s, but like you put Bob Cousy on him, Bob Cousy has no idea what's coming. So this is also coincidentally his first non-assist moment on Top Shot. Obviously one of the flashiest passers in the NBA, so hard to use his ration of moments on scoring plays, but on a play like this where he shows off the nice little handles and the nice finish at the rim, we had to get it on there. Moving ahead, we've got Jae'Sean Tate, who was really a late bloomer and surprised a lot of people, making the all-rookie team last year. I believe he was second team, and here we see him whirling dervish at the rim, throwing it down, hang on the rim. He's a just massive guy, like hard to move, really strong, tweener, but in today's NBA, just exactly the type of guy you'd want on your team.
Yeah, definitely. He's a force when he's got that downhill momentum. Props to Sengun here with what's really an incredible steal. But I love the way that Tate's able to collect the ball, gets the spin off, and then throws it down. He kind of established himself, early, surprisingly, last year with the Rockets, and just kept earning his role. And I think he's here to stay. It's fun to watch players like that kind of find their niche in the NBA.
Next up, we've got a guy that needs no introduction, CP3, doing what he does best, which is just hitting the jump shot in the mid-range, little crossover on Anthony Davis, some New Orleans Hornets on New Orleans Hornet goat crime right there. And, Chris Paul, just a magician with the ball. And here he just does this fadeaway. It's impossible to defend, even if he's a little small. Anthony Davis would be the guy to defend it when you factor in wingspan and length and just nimbleness on his feet, but he can't do it.
Yeah, no, and Chris Paul makes it look so easy. Just toys with them a little bit, drops it like it's nothing.
Of course, Chris Paul made it to the finals, lost in the finals to our next guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Finals MVP, two-time MVP. Very, very strong case to be made that he's the best player in the NBA right now. Kevin Durant might have something to say about that. But here we see him doing what he does best, which is just take it 1-on-4, plow through the defense, put up a shot, get his own rebound. This is Orlando Magic, Shaquille O'Neal-esque with a little bit more ball handling.
Yeah, that's the perfect, qualifier. Is you're seeing a level of physical dominance that we haven't seen since Shaq, but he does it in that slightly more like coordinated way as a ball handler. To be able to pull off this move while also having the power to literally steamroll the defense like this was just a lot of fun. Twitter had a lot of fun with this one, so we're happy to be able to introduce it to the platform.
And yeah, I mean, Jaden McDaniels is no slouch on defense. Jared Vanderbilt, no slouch on defense. This is Giannis just at his best. Moving ahead here, we've got Jaylen Brown, who's really kind of come out of the gates hot in the year after his first All-Star appearance. And here we see him, the late deep three to take the game. I think this was the shot before to take it to overtime. That game, of course, went to double overtime, season opener, the genesis of Bing Bong, just crazy times as a Knicks fan. And Jaylen Brown, the shot, really devastating when it went in.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown was incredible in this game. A career high, 46 points in this one. So he hit this three, and then Marcus Smart hit the three that ended up sending it to overtime. But I love it. Just to be able to pull up from that range and nail that while getting a career high. We knew that was one that we wanted to have as a 10K. That'll be the third 10K limited edition in this drop.
2 words for you, Austin. Bing bong. Next up, we've got Julius Randle with the massive throwdown. And Randle, of course, coming off by far his best season as the most improved player in the NBA. And here we see the lefty flush as he does so well.
Yeah, he's got such a fun skill set where he can kind of do a little bit of everything. He's kind of a threat from deep. He can put the ball on the floor. So that is enough to get Robin Lopez way out of position. He just blows right past him. I think he drops 36 points in this one.
Moving ahead to our last All-Star from this drop, and we've got Anthony Davis with a monster dunk. Davis looking pretty strong. Reunited with his running mate, Rajon Rondo. The Rondo to Davis alley-oops will never get old, and we see it here.
Yeah, the Kentucky to Kentucky connection. And similar to that Jimmy Butler play, anytime a player swings around a defender like that on the rim, I just can't resist. It's too nice.
All right, we're going to close it out with our 6 rookies. And I teased some of them earlier. Very excited about this group because we've got some guys that I think are going to be future All-Stars and some guys that I think are going to be pivotal role players on championship teams. And we'll start with a guy that I think from day one, he's one of the youngest players from the draft, played in high school with Cade Cunningham, Moses Moody. And Moody drafted 14th overall with the intention to be kind of a 3-and-D guy from day one. And here we see him, the drive-by on Anthony Davis, nice finish at the rim. I believe he's only 19 years old still, so the future is bright for Moses Moody.
Yeah, it's fun to see these players sort of come into their own. And when you see them plugged into teams that have the potential that the Warriors have, it's fun to see, what kind of role they'll fill in that established system. This is his first NBA bucket. Nice little baseline drive, tough finish.
Moving ahead to Josh Christopher, one of the most hyped players from his high school class, big overtime star. And here we see Josh Christopher with the nice step back 3, fancy handles, and draining it. He's been used sparingly so far. He's loaded with potential and athleticism, so I'll be interested to see where his career plays.
Yeah, a superstar before he even set foot on the court. It's fun to see a player that, every part of his game just looks so nice. And this isn't his first point. He had a couple of free throws before this, but it's his first field goal. A nice little step back, like almost a little fadeaway there for 3. Not a bad way to sort of ring in your first field goal.
Yeah, for sure. You're telling me. Moving ahead, we've got Jalen Johnson, who I think turned a lot of heads at Summer League for just how well-rounded as a player he was. And here we see him hitting the triple. Jalen Johnson might not be a big part of the rotation as a rookie, just knowing how much depth and how crowded their front court is already in Atlanta. But I think we're going to see a lot of Jalen Johnson over the next 10 years.
Yeah, I think so. It's just like a product of the system that he's in that will maybe limit the opportunities he sees right away. But he's a tantalizing prospect. He fell in the draft. I love to see this. This is his first career bucket. It's one of 2 threes he hit in his first game. I think over time we might see him start to really fill a role in this rotation, and people are going to be surprised at that the Hawks have yet another stud, just waiting in the wings.
We've got 3 more rookies, and community, you helped us decide these. So thank you for participating, helping us choose these moments. We're going to cue it over to Davion Mitchell, off night, who in this moment shows off the flashy footwork, the nice little mid-ranger. CJ McCollum didn't stand a chance. And Mitchell, of course, best known for his defensive tenacity, but in his debut game, had a couple buckets, no steals. So we're going with the 3-star moment of the flashiest play from that game.
Yeah, this was his first career field goal, a nice one. It beat out a nice little drive and kick, a nice little dime. But this one, the people have spoken, and they wanted the nice little step back, and I can't blame them. This was my vote.
Moving ahead here, we've got a guy that's staking an early claim as a front runner for Rookie of the Year. If you're listening to the pundits in the NBA media circles, they're saying he is the most elite big man straight out of college since Anthony Davis, getting comparisons to the likes of Kevin Garnett, AD, Hakeem Olajuwon. I think let's just let Evan Mobley be Evan Mobley for a bit and let him develop. But what he's done in Cleveland, taking them to a 500 record to start the season at 4-4, very impressive. And certainly here we see the touch, the dexterity, the balance. Evan Mobley is going to be a two-way stud for a long time.
Yeah, I think, you're exactly right. Everybody is putting such lofty comparisons on Evan Mobley, but he truly is a player that's built for today's game. And he has, skills that these previous great big men have had, but he's doing it in a way that's really kind of perfect for 2021. He had a couple of nice options for his 3-star rookie moment. This and one layup beat out his first career dunk, but fun to see him take the contact midair and adjust. He's a joy to watch. I encourage anybody just to watch a Cavs game, watch how he rotates on defense, and you'll see why people are just salivating at what his ceiling can be as a two-way star.
And Austin, just to get your temperature check as a reactionary NBA fan that had the first overall pick in the draft, Cade obviously just getting his career started and missed the first few games of the season. I think you're seeing a lot of people talk about what a redraft would look like already. Are you feeling pretty confident that you're happy with your pick and you're going to wait for this season to play out before you do anything on that front?
Oh, certainly. I think for where the Pistons are, I think being able to get a chance to take a player like Cade Cunningham and letting that develop. The number 1 overall pick, he missed his training camp and he missed the first few weeks of the season. But when you see players like Mobley really kind of show where the bar is set, where Cade will not only have to get to, but to surpass in order to really earn that number 1 status in everybody's eyes. He makes it tough, but no, I've got a lot of faith in Cade and the emergence of Evan Mobley as a potential future superstar just makes this draft class that much more exciting.
Absolutely. Moving ahead, we've got our last rookie. As a reminder to you all of these rookie moments will be minted to only 4,000 3-star rookies, all of them from their debut games in the NBA. Of course, their Top Shot debuts as well. They're going to be highly rare amongst the common set. So congratulations to any of you who are able to pull these moments. But our last one from Jalen Suggs, a great step back in his debut game on DeJounte Murray, who, all defensive second team as a 19 or 20-year-old, one of the best defensive guards in the NBA. Jalen Suggs makes quick work of him. Tough step back, hits the 3 behind the back. Suggs, quarterback in high school, got recruited to play quarterback in college, chose basketball, went to Gonzaga. We all know how his Gonzaga tenure turned out with that incredible game winner. And here we see him in the NBA already from day one, looks like an above average defender. And the offense will come in due time. And with shots and moves like this, it's just, we know it's inevitable.
Yeah, I love this. A great debut moment for him. Not his first bucket. His first bucket was a floater. But anytime you can really clear space for yourself and hit a nice little step back like that, you love to see it. It's fun to watch. That's a vet move. That's a veteran way of getting yourself some space. A nice little friendly tap on the defender, and then you're wide open to drain that three.
Folks, there you have it. We just breezed through 48 plays in about 45 minutes. Thank you all so much for tuning in, checking this out. If you're in the stream, congratulations. If you're able to get a pack today, of course, we're doing something new with Series 3. Collectors can purchase up to 10 packs in this queue. We understand that may mean that not everyone gets a pack this week. Do not worry. Next week on Friday, November 12th, we will be coming out with a whole new slew of base set packs. So this will be an always on type thing throughout the series. Lots of packs coming for the base set in particular. If you're coveting those rare and legendary moments, those will continue to be exceedingly rare and legendary and hard to come by. But we want these packs as the base set to be commonly available with these hits like these 3-star rookies and these superstar moments kind of interspersed throughout. Very exciting times here. Austin, any final thoughts? Any editor's notes about any of these plays that we missed?
I was so excited to be able to start planning for this series, and this is this is the first full season of Top Shot as we know it, since we blew up, last February. So it's a fun opportunity to be able to take this big picture look at the whole season. So if there's some plays that you saw and you remembered, maybe we talked about them on Twitter, but you haven't seen them yet, it means we're sort of planning for everything as the season progresses, with the idea of having not just great sets as they come, but laying the foundation for great sets that are going to last us an entire season. You see that with how we're spreading out the rookie debuts. We want every time like you queue up to get some packs for it just to be such a fun part of the experience. That excitement is what makes being a collector so great. So I am so excited to see people start ripping their first packs, and excited to talk about what you pull.
I co-sign everything you just said. Collectors, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date for all of the latest Top Shot news. And until next time, happy collecting.